It was not a typical album. We didn't sit down and write this album. There was some songs that were around and we decided, let's put out something, because we felt that, if we weren't going to go on tour, how do we communicate with people? You felt like we were going to lose touch with the audience for up to 2 years.
There's only words to say we never were.
Have you ever started this band Deacon Blue to become a career artist?
I remember being interviewed when we were making our first record. There was a Japanese television crew came in. I said, I think we'll make maybe 2 or 3 records and split up. And we kind of did.
Ricky, you want it like this? In this?
If it's okay with you.
It's hard to hear you, is the only thing.
Why not?
But if we start using monitors,
When will you make my phone ring and tell me I can't give you anything at all now?
Hey!
It's JD.
Yeah.
I remember you are.
Yeah, well, I remember you as well. Good. Good to see you. How have you been?
I've been warmer. It's cold today. Are you out? Where are you? Are you in Hilversum or are you at home?
I'm in Hilversum. So how have you been? Good?
Yeah, well, within the parameters of the current climate, yeah, not so bad. We've been fine. And we've just had to do what everyone else is doing, just be locked down and
Stay home.
staying home.
Still in Glasgow.
Yeah, I'm still in Glasgow.
I was born in the deepest and darkest of months, and the fields were all frozen and raw. I was raised in the dawn of the hydrogen bomb, ready for shock and awe. I was waking
You released 2 albums in less than 12 months.
Yes. Yeah, it's like the 70s.
Has that to do with COVID?
It's got a lot to do with COVID. I feel it's interesting, is people are reacting to it really well, but it was not a typical album. We didn't sit down and write this album. There was some songs that were around and we decided, let's put out something, because we felt that, if we weren't going to go on tour, how do we communicate with people? Apart from doing, maybe we did little acoustic sessions and we were going to do a television appearance, you felt like we were going to lose touch with the audience for up to 2 years.
I was waiting for the world to begin.
We found this song, writing on the title Love, and said to our label, look, we like this. And they said, well, maybe that can come out sometime during the tour. Of course, the tour didn't happen. So the next idea came along was to try and make it into a mini album, and there's various ideas put together. But we actually had enough. We had 3 songs specifically left over from City of Love, which we loved. We really liked the songs. We took these songs and we then, for example, with a song like Time, we'd done a lot of work on it, but Doogie hadn't played drums on it. We just programmed the drums. So Gregor, at the studio for the first time, started recording drums. He hadn't recorded drums before. So it was quite experimental for us. We couldn't all be together in the same room. So it meant, yes, it's a lockdown record in that real sense. We could never all get together. We couldn't rehearse, we couldn't record together, but we could pass files around.
I did everything wrong. You did everything right.
After listening to this new album again and your former album, City of Love, and all the others, if you count all the years, if you see all the titles of the albums, you are a real career artist. Have you ever started this band Deacon Blue to become a career artist, or a career band?
I don't think anyone does. I think, when you're younger, you just have no thought. You have no conception of time. I remember being interviewed when we were making our first record. There was a Japanese television crew came in. I said, I think we'll make maybe 2 or 3 records and split up. And we kind of did. No, I didn't really think so. I also didn't think it would be healthy. And I didn't think either I would want to do that or anyone else in the band would want to do it.
There's only words to say we never were. I hear your voice
with Jim and Doogie and with Graham and Ewan too, they were people that you went through a very special time with. You know, you went through this intense time of 8 years when you went from playing to no one, literally maybe 2 or 3 people. Some nights 2 or 3 people, sometimes people didn't come. Sometimes people came and they left because it was free gig. You know, sometimes you played at 2 a.m. to drunk students, you know. So you went through that to playing, having a hit record and playing on Top of the Pops and coming over to places like Park Pop and, all these experiences, playing the Bottom Line in New York. You went through all that together, like a kind of little squadron of soldiers or something. You know, it was like you were tackling all these things together. So with Lorraine, obviously, is my closest partner, and these guys were my brothers. They were people that we went through a complete set of unique events together, and for that reason, I guess we value it now. You know, we value it more than we did at the time, and therefore. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm able to have 30 odd years with them.
I hear your voice inside me saying, telling me there's still time. Is there still time?
I was just watching a number of audio takes that we did over the years, and some film footage.
Excellent.
Ricky, you want it like this? In
If
this?
it's okay with you.
But it's hard to hear you is the only thing.
Why not?
But if we start using monitors, it's going to get really complicated.
We
You
might.
come over here nearer.
But I mean, like, using headphones gets really complicated, so you're as well not using them if you don't need to, are you? Try a few things, then we'll get our makeup done, and we'll come back down. Yeah. Right. I mean, we'll do a few songs, and you can decide what you want and what you don't want.
And I hope you feel comfortable now.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm tired of chasing old dreams. I'm tired of wasting days. I'm tired of waking mornings just to wait for you to leave.
I'm so tired. I want you.
Tired of getting low.
Gotta have you.
Tired of listening hard.
So tired.
Wait for you to know.
I want you in everything. In everything. And anything I do.
When will you make my phone ring and tell me I can't give you anything, anything at all? I want you and everything, and everything, and anything I do. When will you make my phone ring and tell me I can't give you anything, anything at all? I want you, 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 I want you.
Nice one.
It's great. Thank you.
Looking at the old recordings again, it struck me that you had a very busy period somewhere in between 1985 and 1993. Then you went apart for a period. You did the Macintosh Ross project, and now you're back with Deacon Blue again. Is there a difference between Deacon Blue 2.0 and 1.0?
There's a few differences, actually. I mean, Graham, our guitarist, died in 2004. And that really, put I suppose, that closed a chapter in many ways of what that band could be. Plus, we weren't really together. We were playing some shows, but we weren't really a band in the meaningful sense of it because we weren't doing anything new. And then we also said, look, if we're going to do Deacon Blue, we either do it properly or don't do it.
Yeah.
One of the people that we were working with at that time said, you need to make a record. And it so inspired me that I thought, you know what, these guys are great players. making a record with Deacon Blue gives you everything. It's like having a big train set. You know, you can do anything you want. They're great musicians. And I wrote a song called The Hipsters and demoed it really quickly. That sort of set the thing in motion.
Standing by the shore, ruled by the deepest blue, aching for the lure of the hipster boys and the hipster girls.
And then a sort of, you know, a real creative time happened. We had The Hipsters, followed by another 4 records. And actually, what's interesting for me is, you know, a live album and an EP, lots of different stuff and lots of touring, was that I really was enjoying it. I mean, from doing that Hipsters project onwards, it's been really positive. Now, towards the mid-90s when we were thinking of just stopping, you know, I wasn't enjoying it and I wanted to do something different. So the real enjoyment, it's been really great and it's felt creatively inspiring.
When I let the dream die slowly down, did I do it right? Or was I wrong?
It's felt, we all know what we're doing, we have a direction, and, you know, albeit that we haven't been able to tour in this last year, which has been disappointing because we would have been in Holland for the first time over in Utrecht. You know, that aside, it's still been so creative. And then, of course, now there's this new little mini album, which has been, again, a sort of creative project. So I think these are the differences. You know, the difference is enjoyment and creativity.
So could you tell me a bit more about that direction that you just mentioned?
You get to a point where you want to be anything but the people that you were. You know, you start off like this, and then a lot of other things have happened in music, and you go, oh, why can't we do that? You know, and then you kind of lose a little bit of direction. And so we sort of concentrate on doing the things that we do well, I suppose. Yeah. And that's been the direction. And just to say, and then once you sort of establish that a little bit, there's something that you think is us. And when we get that, like when we find that, like on City of Love, for example, that song, I think that's us. You know, it sounds like us and it feels like us, but it's the next iteration of that.
All that remains is the city of love. All that remains is the city of love.
Also, what is quite a good tape measure is getting old, because you sort of say to yourself, well, have I done this before? You know, have we written that song before? And if we have, what's the point in writing it again? You know, I always say this to the band. I say, you know, it's not about chords. It's not about thinking of new rhythms. The greatest new songs, you come across them every week. Beautiful new songs. You think of someone like Phoebe Bridgers. You know, you think of someone that's really fresh and new. And she's not breaking the mold. She's just taking all that tradition and bringing it, you know, reinventing it in a new, fresh way. But it's still just the 3 chords. You know, the 3 chords are the same 3 chords that Johnny Cash used. And Springsteen, you know, he's confident enough to write songs in that still same structure, because he knows if he's got something to say. Dylan, you know, you think of the most recent Dylan album, again, it's that just simplicity of storytelling. So I think that you've got to latch onto what you've got to be aware of what you did and not rehash what you were doing. And that makes it quite challenging at times, because you want to be able to keep it fresh.
The rain had made a map round where we lay a while that day.
Please tell me what happens in the song It's Still Early. I like the beginning of that song. It's the last song of your new album.
Yeah.
I like it very much. It's very meant to be the last song of an album.
Yeah.
When did you write it? When did you record it?
Yeah, it's a good story. So at the end of the album, when we started looking around for what we had left, I said to Gregor, you know, we started writing this song and all it is, there's a piano and a voice, and the voice doesn't even have the lyric.
No.
Kind of, I like it. It's got a kind of Bacharach-y kind of feel. So I said, I'm going to send it down as it is to Jim, to his studio. He lives about 40 miles away, and we couldn't be together. I said, Jim, just take the vocal, there's a click track, and you play the piano with it. Because you'll really play into it. So that's what happened. So Jim sent the piano, and then he sent it back up to Gregor. We put some guitar, and I got Lewis. You know, we built up the track from that. And I think the last thing to get finished was the lyric and the vocal. I knew that there was this line of it's still early. There was an opening line about the rain had made a map. And I liked this idea, but I didn't know really where it was going, and I knew it was called "It's Still Early," and that was really all we had. So it was the one song that was actually written specifically for this record.
Gone, everybody else, all the people said they were much too.
Well, thank you very much for your time now. Stay healthy, and let's try to meet in November in Utrecht.
I would love that. We would love that. And the guys, I'm sure Dougie and Lorraine and Jim would love to see you too. So please, let's if it's not November, it will be soon. You know, if it has to get postponed, it will be rescheduled. We will be there, and looking forward to it.
Okay, give my love to Lorraine and the rest of the band, and see you soon.
Thank you, JD. Bye-bye.